In this first example, we're going to do some complex addition and complex multiplication. Here we have two complex numbers, z1, which is 2 plus 4i, and z2, which is negative 3 plus 8i. We'll start with addition. To add two complex numbers, you essentially just combine like terms. So the portion of z1 that doesn't have an I is 2, and the portion of z2 that doesn't have an I is negative 3. So we're just going to add them. I'm going to be a little bit careful with my parentheses. It's always good practice. And then we add the portions that have an I. So there's a 4i and an 8i, so we should get a 4 plus 8i. 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. 4 plus 8 is 12. And that is the sum. Notice that z1 plus z2 is expressed as a number plus a real number times I. And whenever you're trying to write something as a complex number, that's the end goal. Some real number plus some other real number times I, and we've achieved that. So we did great. Now, there's in the book, there's a rule for multiplying two complex numbers, but the correct way to think about this is you just FOIL. So let's start by foiling. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. So our first terms are 2 times negative 3. Again, I'm going to be careful with parentheses. Our outside terms are 2 times 8i. Our inside terms are 4i times negative 3. And our last terms are 4i times 8i. So we'll get negative 6 plus 16i minus 12i plus 4 times 8 is 32. And then there's 2 i's there, so we're going to get an I squared. And the key property with complex numbers is that I squared is negative 1. So let's combine some of these. There's like terms here in the middle. 16 minus 12 is going to be a positive 4. And then that I squared, we're going to rewrite as negative 1. So I've changed that portion. And so we're going to get negative 6 plus 4i minus 32. Negative 6 minus 32 is negative 38. And so again, we've written it as a number plus a number times I, and that is what it means to compute the product, is to have something of that form. So z1 plus z2i is here, negative 1 plus 12i, and z1 times z2 is here, negative 38 plus 4i.